right, what is going on, everyone? Happy Sunday. Hope we had a good weekend. Got to enjoy a little bit of the nice weather we had. But let's get into it. So this is going to be the weekly watch list of what I'm looking at. I'll look into it tomorrow, and then, as setups fire off, I will continue to watch the ones that are going on the week. But being the second week of the month, every single 2-down green month and 2-down green week, they are all going to look the same. So since we only have 1 week's worth of evidence, all of your weekly and monthly candles will look identical, which means basically anything that would have gone 2-down and green on the month last week will pop on this scan. I tried to filter it out to just the stocks that I'm looking at. I like to trade stocks that are usually not more than $200 because I like being able to grab multiple contracts when I'm entering. And sometimes the more expensive ones will have wider spreads. And with the intraday volatility of some of them, especially the high movers, sometimes the contracts just move too fast and you get burned. So I like to keep my watch list kind of under $200 and usually above like $10 to $15. I'll go under $10 if the option chain is not too spready. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into this week's watch list. So first up, we have AMAT. So we have a nice 2-down green month. You have the 2-down on the green week coming back through. Whoa. First chart, I'm already fumbling here. Let's get zoomed in. All right, so I'm looking for the two up week above here, and I'm looking to target here and keep working its way back through. Let's change this here. I was drawing. So I always draw I know we talked about before how I do the monthly open. I'd paint it in light blue. I always do the weekly trigger in that color that you'll see here, kind of this mustardy color. But that's always going to be my weekly trigger, just so when I'm looking, if I'm scanning through the charts, I know exactly where that weekly 2-up break is. So AMAT, there you go. You got the 2-down green, looking to come back all the way through all these guys. CEG. So real quick, I'm going to talk about CEG, NRG, and VST because they have very cool, interesting setups here. So you've got the 2-down green week, which is kind of a doji. It's not ideal, but look at this. You have the massive 3 on the day, and then what did the buyers do at the end of the day here? Boom. Kept it green on the monthly. So sellers came in aggressively. Buyers came back up before the close and said, nope, we're going to keep this month green. Boom, big 3 on the day. You look at NRG. Same thing, actually closed even higher up. The weekly actually looks a little bit better on here. And again, you've got the compound outside bar here to keep coming back to all these guys. But again, you have the big 3 on the day. Doesn't actually get to the monthly open and gets bought up pretty well here. So that would be the first one I would look at. But again, I'm looking for CEG, NRG, and then VST. Had the very similar setup with the big sell day on Friday, and then they bought it back aggressively. So if I see these 3 start to go green on the daily and work towards that weekly break, I will keep all of those on my watch list together. But NRG looks to be the strongest one there. Okay, just want to get through that one real quick. CRSP, good one I called out for Friday. So similar to what we talked about with EH a few days ago, where it has that it breaks the trigger, comes down, has the inside 60, and then goes. If you look at CRSP, it did the exact same thing. So it takes that initial trigger. So it comes 2 up on the daily above here on the Friday morning, sells, stays inside, re-breaks that 2-up day, and then holds the daily here, comes back, goes 3, and once it takes that 3 back up, it's off to the races. So this one would have been a real tricky one. I mean, if you would have gotten in here, you would have gotten burned. This would have been the ideal entry, but again, sometimes they head fake you a little bit and have to set up again. But so if you look at it now on the weekly, though, you've got the inside month, 2 down and green, coming back to counter and get to here. So I'd love to. I got to save that as the default. Shoot. So you'd love to see it come and take the 2-up week here and keep working its way into all these pivots right up through here and take that outside month there, CRSP. It moved pretty well. I mean, it's a good move for a Friday. I mean, that was a real nice candle there. See if these buyers can step up and get this moving rather quickly on through here. So CRWD, here's one. Like I said, this is not something I'll be trading, but if you have the higher account and you are good trading it, you are more than welcome to. looks like you've got the, let's see, yep, you've got the 409.31, 409.25 is the low, so you've got the 3, 2 down, 2 up week potentially right on the monthly open. So boom. I mean, if you are a shares trader, you're an options trader, you want to jump in on this thing, this is the best time to enter. It's right as the monthly is flipping over. If it can take this 3, 2 down, 2 up week into force and try and come back up here into next week. Again, I'm sure those options contracts are pricey. Did just have earnings less than a week ago, so keep that in mind if you are getting into it. Godspeed if you do trade it. CSIQ, almost an inside week, but bam, just barely takes out that low there. And then they come in and they slam it. Look at that volume candle on Friday. Working its way through this earnings broadening formation. So you've got the lower lows in here. You've got this. Now you've got the 2 down, 2 up week to target here. And to then target here on the monthly to come back all the way, almost all the way through. So it looks like the monthly would be right back here, but come almost all the way back through and go 2 down and hopefully 3 on the month there. But again, you've got some strong buying on Friday. If they step up to the plate again on Monday, that's one that I will want to be looking at early. Oh, well, looks like it's already up a little bit after hours, so I'll have to keep that one on watch, but it looks like it's up about $1. We'll see. eBay, this is one that we could have got long in here. Some of us may have gotten long. Some of us may have not. Some of us, I totally exited on Friday. Just wanted to take some profit going into the week. It had been a decent week. A little bit choppy, but I just want to take my profit and go home for the weekend. So let's see if this sets up again. Ideally, it comes down here. Again, you've got some good range to come back to, but you've got the 2 down, potentially 2 up week to target right here. And then you are looking for the 2 down and then for the 3 on the month to come all the way back up through here. So that will be on the watch list tomorrow as well. Etsy, another one. Boom. Talked about this one on Friday. Whoop. Right on up. Closes the week as a 2 down green hammer to come back all the way through here. And again, look at these ranges. This would be your target on the weekly. That is $8 worth to keep on coming through the weekly target one here and then work its way 2 down green and potentially go 3 on the month here. So if you got a long Friday, stay long. If you want to add, wait for a 15:30 or add on the weekly break and then keep a tight stop on it. But this one looks great. The market kind of sold Friday morning, midday, and Etsy stayed strong. Only sold off a little bit and then ended up closing near the highs, which is what you want to see. All right, HIMS. A lot of kind of chopping around in here, but again, you've got the 3 on the weekly. So people have asked me before, will I trade 3s? I will. So if I get a 3-2 up move here, I'm taking it because I want that to be an explosive move. I want to see buyers stepping up. You've got the 3 here showing aggression from the buyers. If they're going to continue to be aggressive, I would love to be a part of that on the 3-2 up week and get long and go and see if it can come back. There's some good monthly ranges here. I mean, you got 70 to 40, yeah, $25 a range there. You got 40 to 65 there. I mean, you got $25 a range here in the monthly. So if it can keep on working its way back around and come back and go 3 on the monthly here, that is, you could have another $17, $18 worth of range there. So we will see. HIMS will be on my watch list. You can also kind of see not much volume in these days here, just kind of choppy. And then the last 3 days, buyers, you got 1, 2, and buyers showing a little bit of aggression. So we'll see if they want to take that 3-2 week up and keep it moving here. Joby, not a lot of great movement last week, but again, you flipped it. So you've got the 2 down green month. You flipped it back green. You would have full time frame continuity to the upside if it can take this 2 up week. These 4 days range is not great. Even a lot of these days range is not great, but it's cheap. I'm sure the options are cheap. I'll have to look at it. And you could get a nice explosive move. I mean, you've got a huge range candle in here. You've got a huge range candle in here. So if the buyers do want to step back up and rip it back up, you've got a bunch of tight pivots and close by pivots to just start working your way back through. So that one will be on my watch list. MDLZ. Here again, you got some choppy days in here. Choppy days in here. Not much. I mean, you got a decent, but then junk. A lot of junk up in here. But again, you've got the setup there. So you got the 2 down green week. You have the 2 down green month. Let's see what we got. I mean, let's see if we can zoom out a little. Fumbled again. Let's see if we can zoom out a little bit here and get something on the weekly. Yeah, so you kind of got these guys here. Mini little broadening formation right here to come back on through. Again, you got a tight. This is, think of all of this as like an inside consolidation. This tight area comes back down, and then let's see if it wants to come back and come to the other side of this little weekly broadening formation here. That would be about $10 a range. So gonna keep it on the watch list. This one's is similar to KO. It's gonna be cheap, slow mover. But if you get the move you're looking for, if you can get $5-10 in a month or in whatever the time frame would be, those contracts would generate some good returns on it. So NRG, I already talked about this one with the rest of them. SMCI, I'm going to leave it on the watch list. I probably won't be trading this thing. I think Oracle has earnings this week. Let's see, Oracle. Yeah, Oracle, so that might move SMCI a little bit. But again, just tough days. Not going to actually trade it, but you do have the 1-2 down on the weekly. And if it gets moving, again, you could see a little something like this here. Coming back through and there's the bottom of your broad information, and try and come back and take these guys out at the top here. So again, you don't have to always have the two pivots, but you understand what a broadening formation looks like. Therefore, you can draw it out and visualize it with your eyes. You could see it doing something similar to this, the lower end of the broadening formation here, and working its way back through and getting above this guy here. We'll see if it happens. Again, the options contracts I looked at them last week. They were decently priced. They weren't horrible, but again, when you're not getting any movement like this, right? These range days are, 4 straight days between 41 and 39.48. So $2 basically of range. If the option contracts are anything more than $1 for like out of the money, it's not worth it because it's just not moving for you. It's just stuck. You're just burning all the value of your options contracts is just decaying because the stock is not moving. So, if it does get moving, though, that's something we could definitely look at because you do have some good ranges here. That's $20 a range last month. SMMT. So here we go. Let me zoom back in here on the weekly. You've got the 2 down green month. You have the 3 2 down green week. You have a nice push up on Friday, a nice candle on Friday. So again, if the buyers can come in and take that 3 2 down 2 up week, I'm looking for a move up into 30 by the end of next week. Again, the options contracts are probably relatively cheap for this. I have not looked at all them. Again, I will post them on my Twitter, and I'll post them in the Discord. If I'm looking at contracts, I'm going to start posting what contracts I'm looking at and the expiration as well. But that's going to be on the watch. Just 3 2 down, looking for a 2 up week to go 2 up on the week, and probably rinse all of these guys out and go 3 on the month. That would be the ideal setup there. URBN. So here we got a 3 on the monthly, 3 2 down. What do you have in the weekly? 3 2 down. All moves must start at a lower time frame. Then you have the inside day. So you take that inside day to the upside. Boom, you go 3 2 down, 2 up on the weekly. If you get a 3 on the weekly, what does that potentially mean? It means you could get a 3 on the monthly. It has to start at every single reversal has to start on a lower time frame. So you get that 3 on the weekly. Could set up that 3 on the monthly here. 3 2 down, 2 up on the weekly is what we're looking for, and then we're looking for boom. $10 a range, man. That could be something for next week. With the inside day coming into Monday, boom, blast off. See if they want to get it ripping back through there. But again, post earnings, obviously earnings, something must happen. I have to look into it, but pretty big sell. We'll see if it actually wants to pick up. But again, 322 on the watch list. Got to look at it. VST, like I talked about earlier with NRG and CEG. Going to keep them all, see if they all want to break at the same time. You've got some nice you've got some nice weekly broadening formations here. You got, bam, they want to come back on through like that. And then you got NRG. Do I still have that one drawn? Yes, I do. And then do I still have that one drawn? Yes, I do. So if you want to keep these on the watch list and just see if this is the bottom of these little broadening formations, you could get 3 nice moves through here and work its way all the way up to get to the other side of that range. And those could be 3 very good trades for you. But with all of that being said, that is the end of my watch list. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Again, any questions, please hit me up on the comments on Twitter or in the Discord. Let's have a great trading week. Take it slow on a Monday. That weekly breaks, you take entry. So I did have this question too before I wrap up here. I had a question that said, do I take my weekly actionable signals the same way I take a daily? Yes. That is the reason, and I'm going to keep pounding on this. The reason I only use 2.5% of my portfolio for every single trade is because if the weekly takes an actionable setup in force, I'm taking the trade. If it's a loser, I cut it. You cut losers fast. But if it moves on that weekly actionable signal, I want to be a part of the mood. You take the 3-2 ups. You take the weekly actionable signals. You take them, and then if they fail, you get out. And if they set up again, you get back in. It's okay to get out and get back in. You stay sized down. You let the moves happen. The moves will happen, but the more you size up and the more money you have on the table, the quicker you are to cut your position and panic and freeze up every time the trade starts to go a little bit against you. If you can tell it's a loser, get out. If you take 2.5% and it moves nice and it doesn't give you a 30 or 60 reversal or any reason to get out, just stay long. Stay sized down. Grow your account. Grow your account. Grow your account. Grow your account. It's the most important thing. Take winning trades. Take winning trades. Let's have a great week. Let's make some money. I'll be back for you guys tomorrow.